Hey, being all of you, welcome to a new episode of my English program to my channel. Today, we're going to travel to a country that I love, England. So, let me tell you that during the 19th century, a writer called Emily Bronte enlightened the public with her masterpiece, Wuthering Heights. So, sadly, Emily Bronte died of tuberculosis at the age of 30 years old, which is pretty bad. Um, Leaving this unique masterpiece to the audience. For context, Wuthering Heights was written during the Victorian Age, but it picks up um, aspects of the Romanticism, so it scratches both artistic movements. Well, while doing my research about the epoch, I came across with many interesting things, such as the case of Queen Victoria's reign, who ruled for 63 years, which grants her the title of the long-lived monarch in the crown. Also, during this period, there are many renowned writers, such as Charles John Haffon Dickens, or better known as Charles Dickens, who also brought same topics as in Wuthering Heights, for example, child neglect and child abandonment in Oliver Twist, as you can see in this book. Before I start, I would like to mention that besides having chosen a social class and love subject matters, I would like to center my narrative about those topics on Heathcliff's life. One of the main reasons to focus on him is that the story sticks to his character all the way. And I also hold that the novel portrays how child abandonment and child neglect were not relevant matters for the society in those times. Finally, I take his character in what refers to the actions that models and force his personality to develop a vengeful personality. The story is set in an epoch where belonging to the upper class was a symbol of elegance, presence, and power. Therefore, anyone not complaining with the requirement that was to be part of these circles could lead you immediately to be rejected and considered to an inferior being. And this is very important because this is what happened to Heathcliff. And here comes the important thing because the story introduces an extremely poor character into a wealthy social circle and family, which this action chopped the image that this family reflected, and also it affected the familiar structure by changing the dynamic that happened inside this family. However, this adoption of Heathcliff revealed that not everyone shared the same values, because it revealed that Mr. Earnshaw and Catherine didn't share the same values because they have a really good heart to accept Heathcliff. At first sight, they could have felt their privileges were threatened, afraid of what other people may say, or afraid to lower their social status. Regarding the fears aroused, they are not only present at the beginning, but we can note it along the story. They demonstrated their fears toward Heathcliff when Mr. Earnshaw died, which is crucial to understand Heathcliff's resentment and desire for vengeance, because it marked the end of an era and the opening of a new path. It forced Heathcliff to turn into someone he didn't like in his return to Wuthering Heights. But the fact that he became rich doesn't mean he was immediately part of a circle where you have to born rich. So you cannot expect to be part of a circle for just having money. You have to like have a big trajectory and to have a rich background to a family that supports you. In my opinion, I think we can not only analyze social class without bearing in mind the role of love, because both aspects are intertwined. We cannot only analyze a social class as a segregated idea or point along the story without taking arguments or make connections between both concepts. So we can see this link when Catherine told Nellie that marrying Heathcliff wouldn't be possible, that it wouldn't be a good idea because marrying Heathcliff would degrade her. Because what she wanted is to escalate in the social pyramid. So when she rejected him, she wasn't rejecting the figure of Heathcliff. She was rejecting the background behind Heathcliff. The fact that he was poor, the fact that he didn't come from a family from a rich family, that he didn't have connections with politicians, with other important people. So what she really wanted was to get the right husband. And who was this right husband? Edgar Linton. So um, although she was really in love with Edgar, her feelings for Heathcliff were even stronger, which implies that priorities, not only for her, but for rich people, many times places money and superficial things over taking happiness with your soulmate. Well, Wuthering Heights, it's the picture of an epoch where society used to accept things that for sure we wouldn't accept nowadays. By the way, throughout my lecture, I came across with many unfortunate situations that astonished me. For example, the entering of Heathcliff as an abandoned child. Because I suppose the number of orphans or home children were unquantifiable for an epoch where natality increased uncontrollably and parents didn't care about his, his or her children. I also enjoyed how the novel plays with topics such as social class and love and how they are connected to each other. Um, for example, I saw this in Charles Dickens' book Oliver Twist, and that used this same way of shocking the reader to, I think, to raise awareness of such a grave situation. And also, I'd like to mention how difficult the lecture of this book was, because um, try to follow the points was really difficult at some points. But after some minutes of a sluggish lecture, you can understand the ideas. And I attribute this unfruitful lecture to mainly to all writers because they try to embellish their pieces by adding overwhelming descriptions of objects or situations, which for a novice English student at a tremendous delay. And finally, despite these tiny problems, I still encourage you to read this book because it delivers a description of an important historical movement since it falls between the Victorian and the Romantic era. So, as I told you at the beginning, it stretches from both movements. Thank you very much for watching my video. I really hope that you enjoyed it.